I'm live. Yes, it's Friday night and I'm live. Where's my bell? It's over here. This is the start bell. I'm live. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to wait a few minutes for people to start showing up. So, I always do these things kind of last minute. Got to fix my hair. And I'm glad you're here. It's Friday night. It is insane out there in the world. If you don't want to even leave the house, I can understand. But don't be like that. We're not in a like shutdown or anything. So let's come together and be with one another as best we can. That's why I'm here. So we can be with one another as best we can. And I'm glad that you are here supporting this channel, supporting other channels on YouTube. In the whole scheme of things, this YouTube channel thing is relatively new. And so we're like the pioneers of the YouTube era. And it is a wonderful opportunity to come together and to share with one another in the chat. For us to, those of us who have practiced certain skills and experience for many years, this gives us an opportunity to showcase that. So it's really, as much as we complain and squawk about technology, especially when it doesn't work, it really is a gift. I was saying to Grassroots of Democracy the other day, I feel like I have a whole bunch of friends and they're virtual. I have so many virtual friends. And when did we ever get to do that, right? So this YouTube phenomena is, in the whole scheme of things, it's relatively new, and I consider us the pioneers of that. And the other thing that it allows us to do is to know that we're not alone in our thinking. I listen to the Midas Touch guys a lot. I'm so inspired by their dedication to saving democracy. I just noticed that Chris Cuomo from CNN, true to my prediction, when Chris Cuomo got booted from CNN, well, I bet he's glad now. He just, and I had said this, he would start some kind of a podcast, and I noticed that he now has a YouTube channel. I really like Chris Cuomo. He's really down to earth, and he's really highly intelligent. So, start a YouTube channel. We're going to go over what's going on in the news. And thank you for those that are wielding the wrench. I like to call them the wrench people. We really do. We have so many friends on the internet. Good to see you, Amanda. But I know Amanda from in person. So, thank you for wielding the wrench. I know you're kind of automatically moderators, but if you want to pass the duty on, just know that you're not obligated. I will never require anything from anyone. I'm not like that. We all can do our own thing and, enjoy what we do. And if we don't enjoy it, we can pass it along. I'm going to show you, since I'm still, like looking at people just starting to show up, I'm going to do a little advertisement. So this is me, my Sagittarius self. I do things at the last minute, kind of like always. In fact, it just brought back a memory that my mom used to literally call me last minute Annie. She really did. My name's not even Annie. So at the last minute, I decided, oh, hi England. Hi everybody. The last minute, I decided to have a series of classes on YouTube. I mean, from my YouTube audience. The classes are in a Zoom room. And tomorrow's class is about stones and crystals. So it's a Zoom class. And to sign up, he was your grammar school crush. He's a good guy. He really is. Chris Cuomo, I'm talking about. If you're just joining us, Chris Cuomo just started his own YouTube channel a little bit ago, and I do like him a lot. If you want to sign up for the class, which is being held on Zoom, and every Saturday I have a different theme for the classes. And I'll read it to you in a second, and then we'll get started. I'm Stones and Crystals tomorrow. It's from 2:30 to 4 Eastern Standard Time in a Zoom room. $50 for the class. For that class, they're all $50. And send an email to AnnetteDion7@gmail.com, and I'll get that information to you tomorrow. And let me just read to you the other classes that we will have, and then we'll get started with our readings. Let's see. Saturday, October 1st. I had the date wrong before, but it's October 1st. To the first day of October. We have the magic of stones and crystals. I don't know where last minute Annie came from. I think my mom just made it up, but it's stuck. Saturday, October 1st, the magic of stones and crystals. Saturday, October 10th. Next Saturday, we'll be casting magic spells. Saturday the 17th, we'll be honing your magical psychic skills. And Saturday, October 23rd, will be the magic of mediumship. And Saturday, October 30th, right? Is that right? You know, okay, the 1st, the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th. All the Saturdays in October. The last Saturday will be tapping into Halloween magic. If you'd like to sign up for the classes, they're all on Saturdays. They're $50 each. And if you happen to want to do all 5, if you pay by tomorrow, you get 1 class free. There's my commercial. Time to get into the readings. So, the hurricane. Well, I just told you about Chris Cuomo, and I had predicted that he would start a podcast. Probably has a podcast too. And there he is on YouTube. And I also have predicted that there would be unspeakably destructive hurricanes in Florida. Because I was asked, and I saw 7 hurricanes when I checked the pendulum. And I really was speechless when I saw in my mind's eye what Florida was going to go through for this hurricane season. I don't know if that's going to be the worst one. We all have known, and scientists have been telling human civilization for the past, since the 1970s, when global climate change awareness became a thing. I think they called it something else when it first started. Global warming. They called it global warming, I think. When you guys might have the information on that. Is this hurricane that hit Florida, and can I just say, I just want to say, I think they have to stop naming hurricanes people's names. That was cute and everything, but my goodness, if my name was Ian, I'd be really upset. I remember Hurricane Mitch many years ago. I had a really good friend named Mitch, and Hurricane Mitch came and destroyed, I don't even remember what island. It was awful. And he didn't like that it was named after him. So, will there be a hurricane as destructive as this in Florida this hurricane season? Okay, so not as destructive. There is a God. Not as destructive. Will there be more hurricanes that hit the South this season? Yes. I was thinking of Greta Thunberg today, the Swedish little girl who got all those demonstrations going about global climate change. We're going to start listening. The other thing I predicted was with all the damage from the hurricanes that came, but I had no idea it was going to be as bad, was that, and I was curious. When I saw this, I thought, wow, really? That the destruction and the devastation in Florida would be the thing that got us to fast track green technology and green energy. So if there's any silver lining, I wish that we didn't. I don't think it was the ozone. No, it wasn't. No, that was the ozone had a hole in it, and somehow it kind of repaired itself. What am I asking? Wait a minute. Will green technology be put on the fast track? Yeah. So Greta Thunberg and, the little Swedish girl and all those worldwide movements will finally start to get some traction. I guess you could say better late than never, but for a lot of it, it is too late. So, I'm going to ask this question because I'm on the coast. Is Massachusetts going to be hit by a major hurricane? Let's hope it stays that way. All prayers to Florida. On Sunday for Church of Spirituality, I will likely do a special meditation time for Florida and all the people in the hurricane's path. I mean, enough is enough. We can't keep having all this global devastation. I'm going to take a look at what's going to happen with Ron DeSantis' popularity or lack thereof. Those of you who are in the Grassroots of Democracy group, or and I hope you join, or watched on Wednesday, I was talking about something about, hang on, let me see if I can remember what it was. It was DeSantis. And I expressed that I had seen an article in the Miami Herald where, I just saw it on the news, in the Miami Herald prior to Hurricane Ian making landfall, I saw an article that was written by the editorial board at the Miami Herald, and they had already started picking a fight or preempting, like they're already trying to make Ron DeSantis look good because the article said Biden better not be fighting with DeSantis during these hard times. And thank you. And I was so angry because they were literally making it look as though Biden was fighting with DeSantis prior to the horrible destruction in Florida. And the fact of the matter is, okay, everybody, we don't have to, be psychic to figure this out. We know DeSantis picks fights with Joe Biden. So you know that I got down and I wrote a letter to the editor and set him straight. So what's DeSantis' fate in the face of this hurricane? I did hear somebody mentioned at our meeting last night that on Fox, Sean Hannity had Ron DeSantis on, and Ron DeSantis, according to this person who saw this clip, Ron DeSantis was talking to Sean Hannity and was complaining that Joe Biden was making this political. So he doesn't have time. I mean, honestly, nobody has time for this childish ridiculousness, which is really what we're finding out from this destruction. When it all comes down to it, God forbid that happens to more people, that they lose everything. The economy in Florida is pretty much done, especially in the parts that were worst hit. So we're going to pick 3 cards and look at how's Ron DeSantis going to fare. And he's really hoping that he can be like, this big hero and be seen as the man that needs to be president. See how that's going to go. I see his popularity really waning. And let me just say something. I'll get to the reading. Ron DeSantis sunk all this money into, and it was government money. It was federal government money. Sunk all this money, millions, to get the asylum seekers transported from Texas to Florida and to fly them up to Martha's Vineyard. And he used all this money that could have gone to Florida, that could have gone to the communities, that was supposed to go to the communities. Which reminded me of Tate Reeves and Mississippi, the governor of Mississippi, and those poor people are still suffering from the flooding that they had for the wastewater treatment plants and the water treatment plants in general, their infrastructure was so fragile that they didn't have drinking water. And Tate Reeves, prior to that, what was he busy doing? For Ron DeSantis, he was busy deporting asylum seekers that were here legally to Martha's Vineyard, right up here. And Tate Reeves was busy with his full-on abortion ban, claiming he was going to take care of the poor mothers who were forced to give birth under dire circumstances. That's what he was doing when the water filtration plants fell apart in Mississippi, and Ron DeSantis was busy stealing government money to deport immigrants to Massachusetts without even thinking about, well, maybe I should call him first. People, if you're not angry, what do they say? If you're not angry, you're not paying attention. So I'm going to pull 3 cards about Ron DeSantis. So much. There's so much going on. Ugh. So much. He's asking for monetary donations. What? They already have enough supplies? I just was on MSNBC for a short time, and somebody in might have been Fort Myers, kind of one of the reporters and helping with the rescue, was saying we need everything in terms of supplies. So if Ron DeSantis is out there saying just send money and don't send supplies, where's that money going to? Where did he say to send it to? Are you serious? Plus, when Hurricane Sandy hit New York, flooded the subways, oh my God. Ron DeSantis said, no, we can't give New York any money. I'm telling you, I definitely donate to animal charities. That's a good idea too. Because, those poor pets. I'm gonna get to the cards, I swear. I'm just gonna say something. Don't we all know this? Ron DeSantis doesn't seem to know this. And the rest of them. You know what I mean. When we are not wanting to be nice to people, because we're all human, and we definitely have times, for whatever reason, there's an infinite number of reasons, we all have times that we don't really want to be nice. But it's the wise and, mature person in terms of mental maturity, just acting like a grown-up, but we learn this when we're children. You want to be nice to people because someday you might need them. If for no other reason, at least consider the fact that if you're nice, someday you might need them. And they will remember that you were nice to them. And they will naturally feel like they want to help you. So Ron DeSantis didn't invest anything into that way of looking at things. All he wanted to do was be cruel and get people on board with, look, I was just cruel. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, even if it's just because you want to make sure you're okay, if you're ever in a crisis, help people when they're in a crisis, or be nice to people, and it's a natural back and forth flow. What goes around comes around. And that he doesn't even get that boggles my brain. Anyway, let's look at the cards. Oh, by the way, I'm supposed to say these things. Please hit the thumbs up. Do my best to remember. Please hit the thumbs up. It helps my channel to grow. Ron DeSantis. Well, I see that. I meant to pick 3 cards, but 5 cards came up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's take a look. I guess this is a big issue. Yeah, I remember President Biden before the hurricane even was next to Florida. Joe Biden had gotten the funding and emergency, readiness ready. Thank you. Wow, that worked. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up. Okay, well, this is telling. For some reason, this, I know Val Demings is running against Marco Rubio. And this is, I feel like there's some powerful women in positions of power. I feel like Val Demings is really going to get on it in terms of helping Florida and putting Marco Rubio to shame. So actually, Marco Rubio was one of the Republicans that when Hurricane Sandy hit, he also opposed sending aid to New York. That was a horrible, horrible hurricane. I was so grateful that it didn't come as far as Massachusetts. But anyway, this is, in the face of what's happening in Florida, this is Val Demings is being represented here. Also, maybe Nikki Fried. I feel like the two women that are in positions to help, in positions of leadership. I'm not sure what position Nikki is in right now, but I feel like that we're going to hear a lot out of them. The sunshine is like illuminating what's been going on with DeSantis, and here is more of the story. DeSantis is going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place because of the things he said and did in the past. And this is going to put a spotlight on what he did with the money shipping the asylum seekers up to Massachusetts that could have been spent to help Florida. So the light will be shown on that. That's what the sun is about. It's illumination. And this is the end for Ron DeSantis. He's going to have to surrender. This is not good for him. And it's going to be interesting to see all the, jumping around and his little, dog and pony show that he does. You just wait. Ron DeSantis, I think I saw it. I think it was before the hurricane. Remember, if you watch me, I was saying that I saw Ron DeSantis dancing around like he was on a bed of hot potatoes. And it was prior to this hurricane even being forecast. And I don't remember exactly. It was around the immigrant situation. But, boy, I'm sure he's hopping around like he's on a bed of hot potatoes now. And I'm getting this really frenzied energy around him, which is understandable given the circumstances in Florida. Nobody was prepared for this. Nobody, because it's unprecedented and we've never seen anything like it. The state of Florida is going under the water. Oh, thanks, I'm glad I'm on too. And so I see DeSantis, I see him, it just feels like, I don't know if he drinks espresso, I just feel like he's on speed. He's really just speeding and frantic. And I think that that's a result of having to cover for all the mistakes he's made. And it's interesting because I feel like the most stress, this is odd, the most stress that Ron DeSantis is going through right now is about how is this going to affect my bid for the presidency? Because Ron DeSantis truly does think that he can become the president of the United States. But we'll see how he handles this situation in Florida. I mean, I cannot believe, no, I can believe it, but he was on Sean Hannity saying that the Biden administration was politicizing the hurricane. I'm going to pick 3 more cards about leadership in Florida. I got the same card. The leadership in Florida is going to have to surrender because they got nothing. And that's Ron DeSantis. They got nothing. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Oh, it's nice to hear that. I like to hear what the other psychics are saying because it's good to see that, we're all pulling from the same source. That's what I always say. So, yeah, he won't be able to do anything. He won't be able to do anything. More people leaving Florida permanently? They're going to have to. Absolutely. And about a year or so ago, I kept telling people that, because I literally was doing readings for people that were considering moving to Florida, and I would say, do not move to Florida. Do not. I don't know why, but I literally was saying, I saw a big dark cloud over Florida, and that might have been connected to the weather too. So I'm sorry if you just moved to Florida. there are a lot of parts of Florida that will be uninhabitable. And this is about Florida. This is going to be, in the sense of the United States coming together, this will bring the United States together in ways that seemed impossible in the recent past. And the Hierophant, this is the law coming down on DeSantis. This is the law coming down on DeSantis. Yeah. He did not make sense. He was all, oh, that's interesting. It's exactly what I'm picking up on. He's all over the place. All over the place. Hang on a second. Baby Boomer 369. I am not for the people that are in positions of power that are not for the people. We have some wrenches. I'm not for anybody who's not for the people. Not for anybody who's not for the people. Should I say it again? I'm not for anybody who's not for the people. So if you're not for the people, you can get off of my channel. If you don't have compassion and caring for other human beings, you can get off of my channel, because I'm against hatred. That's all I'm going to say about that. This is about the law coming after DeSantis, which was already happening. Which is already happening. Ranchers! Thank you. I mean, when you think about it, why would anybody support people that are cruel just for the sake of being cruel? Why would you be cruel just for the sake of being cruel? What is the point of that? Thank you for your help. Okay. Now, Gavin Newsom is an excellent governor. They tried to recall him. They couldn't even recall him. And the guy, what's his face? It was a while ago. It's hard to remember the guy that they were trying to recall him. Big Trumpster. And it didn't work because the people wanted Gavin Newsom. And yeah, so Chris Cuomo is on YouTube now. He has his own channel. It's good. Subscribe. It's really good. I'm going to reach out to him. So I saw Gavin Newsom. So he survived his recall because people want him because he's smart and he knows what he's talking about. And he was being interviewed the other night on MSNBC, and he was talking about that the Democrats really need to get our messaging out. It's really, really, really important. Some people are just haters. That's absolutely true. Sometimes I have to remember that. And people that aren't haters, sometimes we just have to remember that we can't relate to that and we'll never be able to. But you know what? If you want to speak out against somebody who's spewing venomous evil and cruelty, there's nothing wrong with that. I am going to reach out to him. Since his channel is kind of young, then he would respond to people reaching out to him. Okay. Tell the media, because you see what they are saying about Biden. Yeah, and if you join Grassroots of Democracy, we have meetings on Saturdays too. We can spend time sending emails where they need to be sent to the media that's still spewing hatred. Always blessed. I saw that Gavin Newsom would definitely run for president. He was non-committal the other night because, of course, they try to get it out of him. Should we go to Ginny Thomas? We can come back to the Florida thing. The other day when I had Church of Spirituality, which I do every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, live, I had the same number of people on as likes. That felt really good. So I do appreciate it. I do appreciate when you hit the like button. Jenny Thomas, okay, I feel like I want to have a list here of what I predicted that's happened. The last time, I think it was the last time I did a live, we were asking about Jenny Thomas. And I saw that people were asking me if she was going to speak. And I did see her speaking to the January 6th committee. And I saw her exactly what happened. I saw her saying just telling her story that, yeah, she did it. And sure enough, she thought the election was stolen. And she actually had the audacity. I mean, they make a mockery of the judicial system. We'll read on the Supreme Court, too. This is a time that people have to show their power and participation. Of course, many people believe Tucker and spread the hate because many people are hateful. That's why we have to shine our light brightly. So Ginny Thomas knew exactly what she was doing. And so what she's doing right now is she's catering to the people that are in her cult. Because that woman, you already reached out to Chris Cuomo? What did you say? She's, so Ginny Thomas knows what she's doing. She knows full well that she knew she was swept up in the cult and she committed crimes, and she knows full well. But just like Clarence, and don't think for 1 second that Clarence Thomas didn't know what Ginny was doing. Don't think for 1 second that Ginny Thomas kept what she was doing from Clarence. Because why else would he have voted no on the January 6th committee seeing documents? Doesn't take a rocket scientist or a psychic. He was the only dissenting vote. And they got to see them because the other Supreme Court justices says, why not? So, yeah, she's lawyered up good. And here's the thing about Ginny. She feels like she's untouchable. Hubris is lethal. It just takes time. Not necessarily deadly, but lethal to somebody's power. Could be deadly sometimes, right? Look at Putin. Just saying. That was like an undercover psychic prediction. The strength card. Actually, the January 6th committee got a lot out of her, and she's just trying to keep things in balance. The January 6th committee has the strength, has the power here. They know exactly what she's doing. She out and out lied. She out and out tried to cover up, and she is, yeah, I feel like she's QAnon. I do feel like she's QAnon. Can you believe what these QAnon people believe? It's just crazy. Hello, hello, hello. Chicago named weather. How is the weather in Chicago? The weather here got chilly. But I'm holding out on the socks thing. Okay. Let's take a look at, we were asking about Donald Trump, believe it or not, is scheduled to have a rally in Michigan tomorrow night. And my pendulum kept on saying it's not going to happen. So the only thing that I could think was, the pendulum is not 100% accurate. We all know that. But, it can be 75 to 80% around that. My pendulum's around 80% accurate. Is the rally going to happen? Your intelligent friends into QAnon? We'll get into that. Colorful foresight. I did read on when the rallies would stop last time, and I got there'd be 3 or 4 more rallies, and then there wouldn't be any more. Okay. Is the rally that's scheduled for Michigan going to happen tomorrow night? I don't know. This has happened before. Boy, you gave me the whole entire weather forecast. I think I have to be a weatherman to read that. Is the October 1st rally in Michigan going to happen? I don't understand why I'm getting no, but this has happened before with this same question. Hang on, I'm just wanting to keep up with a few things. The mommy asteroid of the baby they shot the dart at. Somebody's given us astrology. I don't understand the language. Well, the thing about QAnon is it is a cult, and cults, yeah, Trump is getting worse with each rally, and he's losing track of his thinking too. The thing about QAnon is when somebody's indoctrinated into a cult, and that's happened through the internet, when someone's indoctrinated, they lose their brains. They lose they literally, it's called mind control, because their minds are under control. It's like their minds are under hypnosis. So it's something that's really hard to understand, because you cannot speak to somebody who's in a cult in a rational way, because they believe the most irrational things. Remember, there was Heaven's Gate. Remember, well, you might not remember, but the whole phrase "drank the Kool-Aid" came from the Jim Jones cult, and they got so wound up, and he convinced them that they needed to drink the Kool-Aid to die. I don't know. Yeah, QAnon was marketing to the New Age spiritual community. I don't know if Jim Jones told the people that that's the only way they would go to heaven. I have to go back and read about that. There's a documentary about it too, about the Jim Jones cult. The Branch Davidians in Waco, Texas, another cult. Charlie Manson had a cult. So these people, they were normal. You might notice the people that have friends and family that have, adhered to these conspiracy theories, that they used to be normal, and they were really intelligent and successful, and then their brains got sucked in. It's more likely that somebody who's gullible obviously will get sucked in, and we can see that with some of those people. But since we're on the topic of QAnon, I'm gonna see if that is going to take a turn. Yeah, so I cannot believe the parallels between, see you later, Kathy. I cannot believe the parallels between Trump and Putin energetically. Because now Trump has gone all QAnon and is grasping at whatever he can find. He's really grasping at straws at this point, Trump is. And Putin is grasping at everything that he can find. And even though it's failing, he keeps acting as if he thinks that it's going to work. So it's nuts. It's nuts, I tell you. So I'm reading about QAnon. The QAnon people are going to end up, I don't know why I get this, but they're going to end up poor. The money's going to run out. Now, I'm confused. I don't know really what I mean, because the money running out would mean they're making money. They're trying to build it up. QAnon is trying to build up, but they don't. It's just like, it's kind of like building a sandcastle, and then the high tide comes and it takes it, and then you build it again and comes and takes it. So you can't really keep it. You can't keep it, because it's like, sand through the hourglass. It's like sand through the hourglass. It just, I'll use that to keep track of how much time I'm on. This is QAnon having a struggle keeping it built up. The Queen of Pentacles. This feels like some kind of I think this is reflecting Letitia James, in the sense that does make sense actually. Trump loses his money, and QAnon doesn't really stay together, because he's like he's now the Orange Jesus, right? So QAnon they're not gaining. They're just, it's like, sand slipping through your fingers. They're not gaining. They're just kind of holding. They're in a holding pattern. And I feel like Letitia James taking down the Trump, what do they call it? The griftco, it will have an effect. Letitia James taking down Trump financially has an effect on QAnon. Okay, let's see. We're going through that. You can. I know. Damon True words never spoken. Every single week, there's major news. Every single week. And I'm going to take a look at Putin and what's going on there. Early on, when he attacked Ukraine, I kept having visions of the oligarchs in Russia having meetings about how they were going to take him down. And I had hoped, like we all did, and still hope, that it would happen soon. But that was February. And let's ask the pendulum, are the oligarchs in Russia, I almost said Florida, the oligarchs in Russia are they going to like physically take down Putin? Not physically. Are the people going to take down Putin? Not the people. Not directly. Is the military going to take down Putin? For entertainment purposes only, I'm getting that the military is going to take down Putin. Is it the Russian military? Happy birthday, Patty. Is it the Russian military? That's fascinating. Goodness, the encircled line, despite Putin signing papers. Yeah, this whole annexing Ukraine, sections of Ukraine, and calling them his. I'm getting the military is going to turn on Putin. Is it like a military coup? Is it directed by the oligarchs? Are they part of it? All right, well, you heard it here. I get really strong. Well, sad to say, really. I mean, I think about it actually makes sense. If you're just joining us, what I'm seeing is the oligarchs indirectly taking down Putin, and it's going to be taken down by the Russian military. He's going to be taken down by the Russian military. This backfiring thing is a thing. Yeah, that's for entertainment purposes only. What I'm picking up is the oligarchs are somehow communicating with the military, the Russian military, to take him out. I see some people are also seeing that. He's threatening a nuclear strike. Yeah, I didn't see the signing. I did not see it. But I did see a picture. And I saw a picture of the soldiers standing behind him. I haven't really checked the news that much today. Yeah, that makes sense because he's killed off so many of the oligarchs. Sent them careening off a balcony in a tall building. But the soldiers that I saw standing behind Putin today, I did see a picture. What I picked up on them was absolute vitriolic hatred. Psychically, clairvoyantly. So if you see that picture of Putin and he's signing that these countries are now his, he just makes up rules as he goes, and that's some way that he's like Trump. But I sense the soldiers standing behind him had a vitriolic hatred towards him. Hate him. There's a lot of hatred coming at Putin right now. Hey, if you go murder people, innocent people, like by the, I don't know how many, hundreds and hundreds of thousands, you're not going to have a lot of friends. Remember what I just said earlier? If you want people to be on your side, be nice. It's an investment. So, let's see if the pendulum will give us a time frame. I still cannot figure out why the pendulum is telling me no rally in Michigan tomorrow night. I can't figure that out. It has done that before. Lisa, were you just here? Did you just come on? I just went over that. I've always seen it being a coup. All right. Will it be in the near future that this happens? Will it be in the near future that Putin is taken down? It's a week, yes. So maybe we can ask more specific. Will Putin be taken down by the Russian military, entertainment purposes only, in October and November? There's my pendulum not giving me an answer. It doesn't want to answer the time questions. So, well, let's see that. Is he actually going to not just hint at it, but actually, is Putin actually planning to make motions towards launching a nuclear weapon? I get no on that. Whenever I tune into that, I feel that there are people around him that will absolutely intervene and stop him from launching any nuclear, the whole purpose of nuclear weapons, I know it's insane, but it's a lot that's insane, is so that we don't ever blow ourselves up. I know, we're mutually assured destruction. What do his daughters think of him now? I don't get that they are in love with him, but you know what I mean? Hang on, I'm just sort of getting questions. That's why I keep going to the chat. He tried the button. No, he did not try the button. I don't get that. Thousands of young men leaving Russia by foot. And then, yeah, I feel like that's going to happen. Okay, I'm going to just try again. Is the Russian military going to turn on Putin? Yes. Will it be within the next few weeks? Yeah, it's going to yes. It's going to yes. It has to gear up, but then it goes, is it going to be in the next few? Yes, I'm getting it's going to be in the next few weeks. Okay, now it just took off. It's going to be in the next few weeks. Will it happen within 2 weeks? 3 weeks? He has a birthday. Putin has a birthday. He's a Libra. He's got Scorpio rising, I believe. But he has a birthday. It might be on the 7th. No, we won't attack. I don't get that at all. Oh yeah, you're talking about the QAnon? That makes sense, Josh. Referring to what I was saying earlier about QAnon. Bond Blue, yeah, that makes sense because I wasn't making the connection there, but I saw that QAnon was just going to start really just like sand through your fingers, just like not having enough money to really keep it robust. And that makes sense, what she was saying. What Bond Blue was saying is that they're giving their money to Trump. That makes sense. They don't have a lot of money. Those QAnon followers, most of them don't have a lot of money. Anyway, so I'm looking at like the 3rd week in October, which is a couple weeks after Putin's birthday, that the Russian military is going to turn on him. Let's pull some cards about that. That's a curious situation. I do feel like he's physically weak. I definitely feel like he's physically weak. When I was talking about Ron DeSantis earlier, I feel similar energy with Ron DeSantis is he's physically weak. So this is, they're going to see if they can get Putin to agree to end the war. The information's getting to the Russian people now about what's really going on, what Putin has really done. It's funny, the more he goes out there and he's all like, Damon was saying earlier, I think it was, hubris, the tragic flaw of, pride being the thing that takes somebody down. So the more Putin puts on like this smoke and mirrors show while all this is going, the less it's working. because there's too much evidence pointing to there's something very wrong here. Nausea, it could, well, Putin is ill. He has a lot of things. It reminds me of somebody who's never taken care of himself. He has a lot of things. And this is Putin. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Putin. This is the end of his reign. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened sooner than 3 weeks. The secret ace that he has that he thinks will keep him out of jail. The secret documents. Maybe for his birthday he'll get a big push out a window. Man, Putin has some wicked bad karma. Can you imagine? Gosh, I'd be really scared if I had that much bad karma. Let's see how Florida's gonna fare. What I'm gonna look for here is this, millions and millions of people losing everything. I'm just gonna do a general reading about how that's gonna affect. You guys are so friendly with each other. It's like you all know each other. Oh, that's interesting. A lot of people pass close to their birthdays. I didn't really know that. Yeah, Russia's got nothing. So we're going back to Florida for a second. And all this destruction, it's going to take years and years and years and decades, and I'm not sure they're going to rebuild parts of Florida. And it really feels like because they won't be able to afford to rebuild it, and some men thrive on that karma. I know it's odd, isn't it? So I feel like there'll be parts of Florida. It's fascinating to me. It feels like in Florida there will be so much destruction that there's going to be some picking and choosing how much to give to certain communities, and there'll be less given to communities that are more likely to get pummeled by another hurricane. That's what's going to end up happening. It is. I mean, it's going to have to be that way, right? You're all on the same wavelength. It's true. Nayrod, I don't understand what you're saying there. Yeah, well, Glenna, when they rebuilt New Orleans after Katrina, I was like, really? It's only going to go back into the ocean. It already is kind of in the ocean. It's below sea level. Well, what's going on in Florida? The world is going to wake up because of what's happened in Pakistan and now Florida. The world is waking up. The hurricane did affect Disney World in Florida. It went right into Orlando. That is why you need to meditate with me. That's what we'll be doing. The world is going to change because of these unnatural disasters, these global climate change disasters. Can you believe Mar-a-Lago didn't get hit? I didn't hear that it got hit. Well, they have flimsy houses in Florida because so many people, want to make money. Developers want to make money, so they make flimsy houses because they can charge an arm and a leg, and then some. Sorry, Alana. I'm sorry about. I'm just saying, like, the science is that sea level's rising, and it's. I understand I'd want to build my community too, if something happened. But the facts are the facts. So the world will be awakened by what's happened in Florida. Because, speaking of Disney World is the most visited tourist attraction in the world. So that makes sense. What I'm seeing here, that makes sense. You're going to see Disney World, actually, you're going to see the Disney company sink, like, I don't know if they have $1 trillion, but I'm getting an exorbitant amount of money that Disney's going to give Florida to rebuild. Take that, run to Satan, excuse me. Wow, interesting. I mean, so in Florida, people are going to be feeling the love and the healing. People are feeling the love and the healing in the midst of the trauma. Yeah, they don't build well. And they don't develop well. They don't develop to withstand. I mean, I live here in an old part of the country, one of the oldest parts of the country. Well, it's the oldest part, right? Massachusetts. They built houses in the 1700s that can withstand anything. I lived for a short time in a house that was built in 1720. Big, huge windstorms, nor'easters come through. You don't even know there's a storm outside. They built homes here. Back in hundreds of years ago, they built them the same way they built ships to withstand anything. So you can't have someplace in a storm-ridden, susceptible zone and have houses that are like built on stilts, you know? Anyway, so about Florida, I do feel I feel the world coming together to help Florida. But I definitely see Disney World. Let's see how much Disney World is going to donate to Florida. Boy, is that going to burn DeSantis. It's all about the money. I know, it's ridiculous. Steel reinforced cement blocks, it makes sense. Yeah, we don't know if Disney built its area to withstand this. How much first, Biden's a Scorpio. Don't underestimate Biden. Don't ever underestimate a Scorpio, that's for sure. Will Disney be donating money? Absolutely. Disney's going to donate a lot of money to Florida. Well, they got to rebuild it too. Will Disney rebuild? Yes, Disney will definitely rebuild. Yeah, Joanne, that is sad that people scam off people in trauma. Okay, Scorpio in the house. I'm Scorpio rising. Let's see. How much money is Disney going to... Oh, that's good they reopened the park. Who's going? Can you imagine going to Walt Disney World right now? I mean, I would if I could, if I lived there, if I felt like I needed to just escape reality. Totally. Scorpios are good. You just don't want to double cross them. You don't want to cross them at all. Believe me, I have those qualities. Good thing I'm a Sag. It's my saving grace. Okay, you went when you were 8. I went in my adult life. How much money is Disney going to give to Florida? Is it $1 billion? $2 billion? $3 billion? $4 billion? Walt Disney World looks like it's going to donate $4.5 billion. Corey did hear from his parents. Thank you for asking. I did check in with him. He said they're okay. I didn't ask for details because I figured that everybody was... Stay away from the Scorpios. I figured that everybody was asking him. Yeah. If you have a lot of Scorpio energy, you don't take any crap at all. In general. Okay, so $4.5 billion. Disney World. The irony. The irony of Ron DeSantis going after Disney. We knew it would turn around and bite him in the butt, but we didn't know this was going to be how it was going to happen. DeSantis said everyone's going back to work Monday. What an idiot. I'm sorry. He deserves to be called an idiot. Did he really say that? Did he really say that, Deborah Murphy? How can you go back to work if your work is leveled? Yeah, my Venus is in Scorpio too. That's a good question. Is he still going to go after Disney? Travels is Ron DeSantis still going to go after Disney? No. No. Ron DeSantis is not going to go after Disney. Boy, that situation took care of itself, unfortunately, in a weird way. You keep forgetting what time change. Oh, well, I'm on Eastern time. Yes, but what I was saying, Erica, was I see Disney contributing about $4 to $5 billion to Florida to help Florida. Okay. Why is your daughter flying? Okay, I know this is borderline personal question. Why is your daughter flying to Orlando? Does DeSantis regret his actions with the refugees? No. Cruelty was the point. You know, that's kind of assuming. If you ask if he regrets something that he did that was cruel, no, he doesn't. He's an evil, mean person. And they better not let DeSantis get his hands on that money, because you know he'll steal it. Good, I'm glad he's back to work at a car wash in Jacksonville. Didn't the cars get washed? I guess they might be muddy or sandy. Okay, I'm ready for a question. I'll wait. I'm ready for a question. What you got for me? Put it in big letters. Well, that's good. I mean, I'm seeing people saying that people are flying into Orlando and they're going back to work. DeSantis says everybody's gonna. Does he mean everyone's going back to work in Florida on Monday? Good one. Sad that that's not true, but I can't even believe he's saying that. No, I can believe it. I can believe it. DeSantis is so scrambled in his brain right now. No, he's not sorry. A narcissist is never sorry. How worried does the West Coast have to be about an earthquake? Well, I never promote worry. Will Charlie Crist use this against a Satan? No, Charlie Crist is just going to say, here I am and I'm helping. Like Beto O'Rourke, when they lost power, when the most, the energy state of Texas couldn't even maintain their electrical grid. Thank you, Greg Abbott. I'm telling you, it's insane. How was your day? Pretty good. So Beto O'Rourke, when they had the power outage in Texas and people literally died, froze to death. Hang on a second. Beto O'Rourke was out there helping. And Charlie Crist is going to do the same thing. You'll see that. He doesn't have to get out and grandstand. He wouldn't do that anyway. Yes, unfortunately, I see thousands of fatalities in Florida. So why are you asking how will Halloween be for the January 6th committee? Are they going to have a hearing on Halloween? Did I miss something? Putin looks okay in recent videos. Well, you know, he's Botox to the max. Sandy, that's kind of funny. In a funny way, that's kind of funny. So I see Charlie Crist jumping in and helping a lot. And I don't see Ron DeSantis doing that. Unless it's for a photo op like Ted Cruz did. Jimmy Carter's birthday is tomorrow. Is he going to be 100 yet? Let's ask. I did get that he would in the past, but it was pre-hurricane. Lavrov is a terrible person. Is Charlie Crist going to beat Ron DeSantis? I think it's close right now, but it looks like he will. Lisa Lee DeSantis is mad every time they talk deaths and... Is that his wife's name? I didn't know. Lisa Lee? Well, you have to say the facts. I know, exactly. That's what I said. It's like, how you can't go back to work if you have no establishment to go to. All right, let me get a question going. Does 45 have a love letter from North Korea? What, is he saying he has another love letter from Kim Jong-un? Is that what he's saying? How old is Jimmy Carter? 97? Yeah, smash the like, people. I really appreciate it. Is Ron DeSantis going to... Well, I got the Charlie Crist would beat him. Yes. 98. Good for him. Good for him. Is Charlie Crist... I'm just going to ask again. Is he going to beat DeSantis? I get yes. I get that he's going to beat DeSantis. Kim Jong-un has a body double. You heard it here many months ago. Charlie Crist is going to win. Is Ron DeSantis, is this going to end Ron DeSantis' political career? That's a good question. Is this disaster going to end Ron DeSantis' political career? Saying no. Is Ron DeSantis going to pursue the White House? I'm getting he's not going to pursue the White House. Well, Donald Trump did have a love letter from Kim Jong-un. He used to brag about it. And I think it was in the secret documents. Is Ron DeSantis going to run for, I don't know, senator? Mayor? Congress? I don't know. It's saying it's not going to end his political career. Will Ron DeSantis be in a position of leadership politically? No. So I don't know. Maybe it's just going to be in his head. I feel like the January 6th committee... Thank you, Joanne. I feel like the January 6th committee... they wanted to question Ginny Thomas to see what she knew, and that she's too connected for them to... I don't know. I felt like she was above the law, but nobody's supposed to be above the law. Let me see. Is Ginny Thomas going to be... Is it going to be recommended that the DOJ prosecute? It's not going to be recommended. Will Clarence Thomas be forced to step down? I'm getting a yes on that. Let's take a look at Clarence Thomas, shall we? It's already past an hour. I thought I'd jump on the early side tonight so we can all go do whatever we want to do. Not like I have any big plans. I'm going to go see my folks. Just pop in, say hello, you know. If you have parents, go visit your parents. So Bond Blue, are you psychic? Clarence Thomas, we're reading on Clarence. My cards are all messed up for some reason. Talk amongst yourself. Okay, let's see what's going to happen to Clarence. Oh my gosh, did you see? So this is the thing. When you saw Ginny Thomas walking down the hall and she was all smiling like she was going to go, I don't know, to a wedding or something. Judge Deary, we'll look at that. That was weird. Somebody misbehaving in the chat? We'll have none of that. No misbehaving. Thank you, wrench people. Somebody told me, because I forgot what you would call. You call the people with the wrenches, and somebody was like, they're moderators. They set me straight that they're called moderators because I couldn't remember what they were called in my live video, and then I was like, I think I like wrench people better. Oh my goodness. Let's see. This is interesting because I'm asking about Clarence Thomas, and I'm getting the card of missing out on. I feel like Clarence, like Ginny lying, and missing. Ginny lying is missing an opportunity to, like, it would have been better off if she hadn't lied. She would have been better off if she missed the opportunity to have a better outcome for herself. I feel like the January 6th committee is going, and I've been saying this, Clarence knew. And Clarence was in on it. And you can say Clarence was in on it just by being mum. The evidence is all there. That Ginny, yikes, that's Ginny Thomas, gross me out, that's disgusting. I'm just picking up on the slimy and violent energy. And I feel like this is going to be really harmful to Clarence Thomas. I see Mark Meadows involved, and I see that Ginny missed an opportunity to make it a little easier on herself by lying. She missed an opportunity because she lied instead of telling the truth. I'm not really sure what that means. I don't really, sometimes I just don't know what it means. But we'll see when things unfold. I feel like there's a million things we could read about, and I can't think of one at the moment. Yeah, she waltzed in there like I'm getting my hair done. And that she was going to get the best hairdo ever. She could use it. Just saying. Who has a question? Come on, give me a question. You're all talking to yourselves. Yeah, she's brainwashed. She was in a cult early in life. I didn't get that it was good for Clarence. Senator Karen Bass. Are you sure it's Scientology that she's into? I mean, I can read on her. Hang on. We have any other people from California here? Let's see. I didn't know. Karen Bass, Democrat in California, serious interest. Do you mean she's in Scientology? I'll pull one card. I actually don't feel like she's in Scientology. I have the strength card. I feel like she's too strong to be in Scientology. Is Putin behind QAnon? Yes, indirectly. Yes, definitely. Definitely. I don't think I need cards for that. I somewhat refrain from calling who's going to win an election. I mean, I did call Joe Biden, but as far as the other elections, so many variables, and I really do. The other thing about Scorpio rising is you don't tell them what to do. Erica. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Let's look once again a little bit at Clarence Thomas. 2 cards. The death card. There's a big change coming for him. And this is about Clarence, and he and Ginny were definitely in the know about what was going on. Yes. I do see DeSantis getting destroyed. I've always seen... Oh, Bolsonaro does need to lose. I've always seen Ron DeSantis in trouble with legal stuff, particularly with the money that he stole from the federal government. I don't really read on the stock market because money is boring to me. Sorry. Is Putin married? God, that just makes me shudder. Yikes. Let's take a look at how Zelensky's doing. We'll go across the pond again. How's Zelensky doing? Actually, with Zelensky, I get superhero. Zelensky has Oh, thank you for reminding me. I'll read on Judge Deary. Zelenskyy has, I don't know, I can say it's like superhero energy when he is, people know this about me because of the show with Corey, and we joke about it. When people ask me about stimulus checks, the economy, housing, and the stock market, I just say my eyes just glaze over. It's not personal. It's boring to me. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Okay, now hang on. Where was I? For Zelenskyy. I feel like President Zelenskyy is I get superhero energy all over him. Oh, Australia's here. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Zelensky's looking at a lot of damage, but it's really, 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 really hard. It goes up, it goes down. Somebody's been listening to me, Lisa Sharp. The stock market goes up, it comes down. It goes up, same with all of it. So Zelensky's feeling a little bit alone. Makes sense to me. Keeping things in balance. President Zelenskyy. Yeah, Zelensky's saying so much awful stuff. When you add all those emojis, I definitely see it. Hang on, you're in the queue. Not QAnon, you're in the queue. You're in the lineup. Zelenskyy is really up against it. We gotta continue to pray for Ukraine. Because it's all over the place. I mean, you kind of get like a stiff neck, like, is Ukraine winning? Is Ukraine not winning? Like that. It's kind of hard to keep up. But Russia's definitely not winning. Putin is divorced. Yeah, I didn't think he had a wife. Okay. You gave your text back to your economy teacher, basically told him to. Wait, before the Stacey Abrams question, there was another question about Deary. Okay. And the question about Deary is, what will Deary do now that Cannon really didn't. Did somebody say senator? Did I say senator? Oh, somebody. Yeah, Stacey Abrams running for governor. Putin is hiding in the forest. He has a mansion there. Okay, yeah, because Putin is Satan. It's alright, we get governors and senators and Congress people. We get state reps. We get them all confused. We all do that. Okay. So, I honestly, Judge Deary has it going on. He's 78 years old. He's been a federal judge for probably 60 years. Something like that. 50 years, something like that. Hang on a second. No, I don't get the Karen Basses in Scientology. I really... Thank you, Benjamin. You're so sweet. You're all sweet. Yeah, alright. So Judge Deary is not... I mean... If somebody is saying something like, will Judge Deary be, defeated by Cannon? It's just like, that's apples and oranges. The special master was Trump's idea. To agree for Judge Deary to ask him was Trump's idea. And now there they have him doing what he was, asked to do, and now they have a problem with him. Because for some reason, they thought that Judge Deary was going to lie and cheat. They just assumed that's what they were banking on. That Judge Deary would lie and cheat. They were counting on it. So that just goes to show you another case of it's right in your face, right? Right? If you hit the thumbs up, I think it helps me to be available to more people. If that's better for the world, I'm not really sure. But anyway, Judge Deary. I love that people are calling her loose cannon. She's speaking of canon. If you, I mean, I get cult vibe from that girl. I get a serious cult vibe, not QAnon, but cult vibe for sure. So this is about Judge Deary. He's going to bring them to a swift end. Judge Deary is building a case, and America wins on this one, on this front. It's really hard when you get 24/7 news, because speaking of things going up and down and up and down and up and down and always changing, that's been the case with this. I mean, yeah, Trump has destroyed this country. But I don't feel like Judge Deary looks at this as a slap in the face personally. Not at all. To him, it's a slap in the face of America. And I've picked up on that slap in the face. This is so painful, you know, from Biden and Merrick Garland. I slap in the face. I mean, but it's not personal. They're not feeling like it's a personal. They just love this country like we all love this country so much. And, you know, it's not a slap in the face of Judge Deary himself, but it's stunning to him how criminal these people are. No, he's no nonsense. And, you know, just suffice it to say that somebody of his stature and standing, and that this isn't ageism, I'm just going to make a point that when people get along in years to like 78 and beyond, really what's on people's minds at that stage in life is what they're leaving behind. You know, what legacy they're leaving behind. And Judge Deary took this, they asked him, and he took this special master case because he wanted to do the right thing for his country. So he's going to bring this ridiculousness to a swift end. I mean, that might not mean it's going to be immediately that it happens, but when it happens, it's going to be done. I never really saw early on, you know, I was asking the pendulum about whether they'd appoint a special master, and I got no. And I think that was the pendulum. Maybe what the pendulum is measuring there is ineffective, you know, not much going to happen there, like that. I think that that's partly what the pendulum is picking up on. So the special master has not helped Trump. So let's just take a look at 3 cards to see what effect it's going to have on Trump, that there's this Judge Deary. This is the effect that Judge Deary is having on Trump. And the Justice card is coming up. That's interesting. It's making it worse for him. It's making it worse for Trump. George Conway is part of the Lincoln Project. I'm not understanding your question. Anyway, so this is what happens for Trump as a result of Judge Deary being appointed by him, because he wanted that. This is what's happening for Trump as a result of Judge Deary not lying and cheating. God forbid! How can he not lie or cheat, right? The Empress is the United States winning, and this is justice. This is justice. I know, Roxanne. It's why is she saying that? Because George Conway hates 45. I don't know. Sometimes people in the chat say things that are so confusing. It's just like, what? I don't get it. Okay, I think I need a drink of water. So, everybody, put your questions up. While I'm having a drink of water, I want to water my tea. I want to tell everyone that I'm having a stones and crystals class tomorrow. And if you want to know more about that, send an email to AnnetteDion7@gmail.com. I don't know, I'm lost, Kathy. Sorry. Yeah, everyone's going, what? Or that feels like a different track. All right. What else do we have to look at? Thank you, Lisa Sharp. So if you want to take my stone class, I went to the stone store today. We will be talking about stones and crystals. Every single Saturday I'm having a class with a psychic theme. And just send an email to AnnetteDion7@gmail.com and I will send you all the details. Let's look at global climate change and, well, I'm going to look at this. The Republicans are looking to take away all the things that Joe Biden has passed to benefit the American people. Let's see how that's going to go. Let's see. Well, that's interesting. Dwight Ford, motor funding anti-abortion. Yeah, you are going to see a lot of backlashing, by the way. Yeah, we're going to see a lot of backlashing. So the Republicans are trying to put the kibosh on all Biden's strides forward that he's made for this country. So the list is really long of what good Biden has done for this country. I think he's the most productive president ever in terms of helping the American people. And the only reason that people aren't on board with Biden is because the Democrats need to get their messaging to be much more powerful, much more prevalent, much more in your face, and much more repetitive. So if you go and you Google Joe Biden's accomplishments, you will see, and you'll be so grateful that he's president. But the Republicans are trying to cut his program to reduce student loans, cut Medicare, cut Social Security. They want to impeach Joe Biden. There's all these horrible things. They wanted to go ahead and let the government shut down. It's bad. Yeah, electric storm. I know, it's horrible. And if people knew the truth, if they could listen to the actual truth. George Conway is not helping Trump. I don't know what you're talking about. No. I'm not mad. It's just from a psychic perspective, it's like, it's so far off from what I'm seeing. That's all. I'm not being fresh. Alan Watts. Chuck's back with the great quotes. Oh yeah, Ketanji Brown Jackson. I kept wondering, when is that going to happen? When is that going to happen? We always like to see Chuck in his quotes. Ketanji Brown Jackson. So does that mean, I have to read about it. Does that mean, read like the news, that she's going to show up next time they meet? Yes, George Conway's wife, Kellyanne, is the one who has been helping Trump. I don't feel like she's that actively engaged in that anymore. So we're going to look at, are the Republicans really going to damage all the Democrats' progress? Boy, they're trying like hell. I don't think so. I don't think so. It doesn't look like it. It looks like that the American people, honestly, this really feels like with all the natural, they're not really natural disasters. Anyway, the weather events, hang on a second. First time I dropped a card. That, believe it or not, this is what I see, and I am not surprised. Thank you for hitting all you thumbs up, people. I appreciate that so much. The Republicans trying to block the good that Joe Biden is doing is going to go over like a lead balloon because Joe Biden is going to be helping the people that were Trumpsters, that could now see when the rubber hits the road and when reality is smacking people in the face, they will know who is there for them and who has been there for them. So the Republicans can take away women's rights, they can take away voting rights, they can do all this stuff. But in the end, people are going to vote according to who helped them when they were in crisis, and it's not the Republicans. People will vote based on who helped me when I was in crisis. Now, this is like somewhere in the Bible. When I was hungry, you gave me food. When I was thirsty, you gave me drink, right? I have a church. Whatsoever you do for the least of my brethren, that you do unto me. I'm just making a point. People will remember who helped them. And then there's a great quote. You all know it. Chuck will come up with it. People don't remember what you did. People more remember how you made them feel. And Joe Biden, one of the reasons that Joe Biden got elected was that we were really in such trauma with Trump, and we still are, but it was really bad then. When we couldn't wrest him from the White House. It's like, get out of there, he's in there like super glue. We needed somebody like Joe Biden to be like the grandpa, the nice grandpa. And that's what this is. People are going to know that we have to save ourselves. We have to rebuild. And the world is like, it's kind of like, the good is going to be rewarded. So don't lose faith. So I think we have to look now at these midterms. And we have to look at what the energy is around the midterms. And I don't know how Florida's going to vote, and now South Carolina, North Carolina are getting hammered. I am praying that Massachusetts, where I live, I'll read about that on my own, but I really hope that we are safe here. I hope we're all safe. I hope everybody here is safe. And I hope people in Florida are receiving all the help that they need. I'm trying to think of where I saw to give for helping Florida. I'm sure you can look it up. But I'll get back to you. Ginny and Clarence talk. Yes, they absolutely do talk. Ginny and Clarence do talk. And George and Kelly and do talk. But George has always, once Trump started acting crazy, George has always stood his ground. They're Catholics that believe that you're not supposed to get divorced. Yeah, Erica, I know that. I try not to dwell on those things. Okay, let's see the midterms. So I was just reading about the Republicans stopping what Joe Biden is doing, and I guess that kind of seemed like a midterms answer also. But let's just look a little further into the midterms. We're going to be scared during the midterms. We're going to see some things that really scare us in terms of election deniers winning. It's going to be a little chaotic, people. The midterms are going to be chaotic. The high priestess indicates that there's some secrets happening, but I'm not picking up on nefarious secrets here. I'm picking up on, this is interesting, a lot of people that love this country doing the background work to make sure that Republicans can't cheat the way they want to. And I have the surrender card here too. It's basically pray for a good outcome. Yeah, this is the Three of Wands. Is like, this is just, we're holding it. And I had said the other day, oh, Texas Paul was great. Join Midas Touch. I had seen recently in the midterms that it's you know, I feel like the Democrats are going to take it. But for some reason, I also see, because of all this misinformation and everything, it's still going to be very close. It's not going to be like we have, you know, a lot more, you know, leaders in the House or a lot more in the Senate. I don't see it being much different than it is now with the Democrats in the majority. All right, if you guys have a couple more questions, we'll definitely get to them. Yeah, it's... Oh, okay, thank you, Joanna, for that information. The Supreme Court starts back next week, and Ketanji Brown Jackson will be there. Well, let's read on that, shall we? What's it going to mean when KBJ, we have to get used to that, when KBJ is sitting on the Supreme Court? Let's take a look at what's going to happen with that. Some people will, this is interesting. When Ketanji Brown Jackson takes her seat on the Supreme Court, this is what I see. She's going to shake it up in a very quiet way with her level-headedness. That's what I get. It's, you know, this seems like it's really disruptive, but the irony is it's disruptive because it's sane. It's going to be a balancing act for her, but this is really interesting. Ketanji Brown Jackson getting on the Supreme Court, being there on, like, next week. Somebody checked out the details. Next week, she's going to be seated in the Supreme Court. She's going to be there. And this is what's going to happen. And it's her level-headedness. Honest to God, it's her level-headedness that's going to cause this. Kagan will have her back. I just see it. It's like they're so used to being a corrupt court that having this person come in and be like, oh, well, that is this, and that law is this, and like really smart, and just no nonsense. And it's going to be like, oh, well, I guess she's unflappable. That's really true. The level-headedness is going to cause chaos because it's been so corrupt for so long. And they're not going to know what to do with it. But I see Justice Kagan like, yeah, girl. Yeah, here we are. You go, girl. Been waiting for you. I really do get that. Let's see if the abortion ban, it's a different pendulum, if the abortion ban situation is going to change because of her. I'm getting a yes on that. I'm not sure how. Hang on a second. Okay, so that nothing could be further from the truth. Angela with an unusual name. An unusual name to make a comment like that. On this channel, we appreciate people who care about people. Oh, we'll read about that too. Is the abortion ban going to be different under Ketanji Brown Jackson? There's something Ketanji Brown Jackson is going to say when she's on the Supreme Court that is actually, maybe it's about abortion bans being unconstitutional. I feel like I just get this energy about her where she just says something so clearly and so plainly that people don't know what to do with it. Because it's been so long since they have had somebody that's really, like Ruth Bader Ginsburg. It's been so long since they had somebody. That was quick. I got her. I got the troll. I've been accused of a lot of things, but not being kind is not one of them. I just want you all to know that has not been one of them. And I'm not saying I'm perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I've never been called mean. And I know nobody here is mean. I just call it like it is. If somebody's being a jerk, I don't pretend that they're nice. That's all. Okay. I bet there are a lot of jokes in her divorce today. Want to look at what happened there? Or was somebody waiting for me to answer another question, which is kind of likely? We'll go for like 20 more minutes, okay? So, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I saw that ad today with her. What is wrong with that woman? In a helicopter with an AR-15? Going up in a military helicopter? And this is her ad! I don't know what it was for. For her campaign, I guess. Up in a helicopter, a military helicopter with a military assault weapon, shooting a feral pig. Does anybody help me out here? Does anybody know what the heck that was? Oh, colorful foresight. Yeah, that's actually a good point. What she's saying about our troll there, who was saying that I was so mean to Ron. I'm not I'm mean to people of Florida because I don't like Ron DeSantis. Some people take not kissing arse as unkind. Shooting wild hogs. I'm not getting them. What was that? I don't think she even knew. Honestly, no. That was crazy. Thank you, LB Studio. I didn't see it. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Well, first, let's see if she's is Marjorie Taylor Greene going to beat Marcus Flowers? Thank you for saying I'm not mean. Is Marjorie Taylor Greene going to beat Marcus Flowers? It's going crazy. They shoot feral pigs? For what? Do they eat them? Boy, the pendulum just doesn't know what to do with that. He is a cruel man. DeSantis is a very cruel man. Oh, somebody with my name. Hi. So the pendulum's not giving me an answer because it's really hard to call races, but I'm telling you what. If Marjorie Taylor Greene is even close, just like Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock, they shouldn't be close at all. Herschel Walker I think he's lost his brain power. Marjorie Taylor Greene and the divorce. She's devastated, and she's going to pretend that she's not. We have some nasty people here. She's devastated, and she's going to pretend that she's not. Marjorie Taylor Greene is devastated, and she's going to pretend that she's not. Good moderators. I appreciate it very much. Well, this is interesting because she was in on the January 6th insurrection. And what you're going to see Marjorie Taylor Greene doing, not very effectively, is I wonder if that's why he's divorcing her though, her husband, because she got caught with affairs all over. I got that it was just her behavior. It's getting worse and worse. Yeah, it's getting worse and worse. The January 6th committee has a lot on Marjorie Taylor Greene. And she's going to pretend that she's okay, but I mean, this is gonna Marjorie Taylor Greene is gonna, you know when people just plow through and pretend they're fine? That's what I get. Eat all the trolls. Have trolls for lunch. Let me look at that again. Devastated by the divorce. I get that she leaned into that she was married as a sort of a... For some reason, people that are married, you have to be married to run for office. If you're not married, you're suspect. It's so old-fashioned. Anyway, she's devastated by this. And the January 6th committee has stuff on Marjorie Taylor Greene. And she's just going to plow through, pretend she's fine. Plow through, pretending she's fine. Is Marjorie Taylor Greene going to... Yeah, we'll read on Trump in a second. Is Marjorie Taylor Greene going to lose power? Saying no. Is her husband divorcing her to protect their business? No. Is Marjorie Taylor Greene going to become more powerful? No. I'm getting all this. Okay, well, what is it then? Oprah said you get a troll and you get a troll, you get a troll. Let me see. Will confiscating Trump's assets affect his prenup with Melania, or is her money already set aside? I feel like she has some money that she's put aside separately. Is Trump going to lose everything? Boy, that was a fast yes. He's going to lose everything. Has Trump already lost everything? No. But he is going to lose everything. Many months ago, the guys gave me the download that Trump was going to, at the end of his life, he was going to be very poor, probably in a hospital. I don't know what kind. It seemed like some kind of a facility where the elderly people go, like dementia patients. I got this download many months ago. And I forget what you even said, but I was laughing. I got that he was going to be friendless. He would have no friends, penniless, and all alone. Just all alone and just penniless. And that's what's going to happen to him in the end. I don't think Melania will be deported. I think she's going to... I definitely don't think that Melania is going to stay in the United States. I see her going back to... She's from Slovenia? Is Melania Trump going back? Yeah, she's going back home. I know her parents are here. And she was able to have them become citizens, well, in an illegal way. But Trump, he had executive power. Yeah, she's going overseas. I get that. I definitely get that. Yeah, so many months ago, I got that download about Trump, and I also got, from a divine, intelligence perspective, or a bigger, more spiritual perspective, the whole function of Donald J. Trump in terms of the United States, the karma with the United States, was to get us to fix our democracy. So Slovenia does not want Melania, but I don't think they can keep her from going there. Yeah, chain migration, right. Right, yeah. Weird. It's a weird world we live in, I know. So we went over the midterms. I see the Democrats keeping the majority, but I see it still being very, very close. Not by much. I know, I remember they burned a statue of Melania in Slovenia. Melania from Slovenia! Oh, she has them lined up, believe me. She has the men lined up at her doorstep, wherever she is. We never see her. Should we look at, let's look at the Secret Service documents. and Trump, let's just see what's going to happen with that. She won't be safe in the U.S.? I don't think she has many friends here. Yes, thank you for your help, Colorful Foresight. I can't believe I'm still on, but that's how the lives go. You just want to keep talking to people. It's like a party. It's Friday night, let's party. I'm having some water with a little tea. Well, here's the High Priestess is the secret documents. He's going to be in huge trouble over this. But yeah, we don't wish her bad. Everybody's got their, their road to hoe. Oh, that's a good quote. It's a party. Yeah, there are secrets. But I feel like the FBI is really on it. And this thing with Judge Deary, I feel like Judge Deary is going to see to it that the DOJ and the FBI get to do what they need to do. That's the Ten of Pentacles there. But this is the Secret Service documents that, the secrets that Trump was keeping are really, that's his downfall. And I do see that he will have to reveal what was what went on with those empty folders. This is the most you party, you need to get out more. Just kidding. There's always a way to get out more. And let's look at the January 6th committee. I don't know when the next hearing is. Yes, Trump has money hidden overseas. Yes. Not a lot. Not a lot. I feel like he's had to tap into it. Yes, Ukraine will be in NATO. Yes. October 5th. I don't know, I heard that and then I heard it's not. So the hurricane threw things off. Yeah, the storm is calmer. They just have all that water to deal with, which is, I don't know. Florida will never be the same. Well, who tell the American people Trump sold us out? January 6th committee. Well, they're lining it up. They're holding the fort. Yeah, they were saying the 5th, and then they changed, and then they said no, it's not going to be then. But I think that there'll be probably 3 more hearings. Yeah, the 3 of Cups is kind of a celebratory card. They have everything that they need. Yeah, DOJ and FBI. Right, I really do feel like the DOJ and FBI are going to be able to do all the investigating that they need to, and I do feel like that they'll have free reign over going over all the documents, and they'll be able to freely investigate what happened with those secret documents, top secret. And this is about the January 6th committee. The 3 of Cups is a celebratory card. They really did an amazing job. I do feel like there'll be 3 or 4 more hearings. And then that's the other thing that I left that off the list. The economy, housing, stimulus checks, the stock market, gas prices. I don't know. They go up and they go down, so it's kind of like we need to get off of fossil fuels. So this is about the January 6th committee, and the Temperance card is they're doing a great job with what they have. A huge winner. Yes, he won't. Yeah, they won't like him when Trump is not a huge winner. People will not like him, and I think that's what I saw earlier with the QAnon crowd, just losing power. Shall we end with a community card? Well, does Liz Cheney have a limited time on the committee? Well, they all have a limited time on the committee because it's going to end eventually by the end of the year. Let's do a community card, a card for the collective. I feel like we covered everything that we need to cover right now. Hang on. Let me see. I thought I was done. You killed millions of people. What? Rand Paul exposes new facts on what? Erica, do we have to rent you? Did you hear Ron DeSantis called Dr. Fauci a leprechaun or something, and we need to throw him out the window? What happened to the gas line? Anyway, I'm thinking about Dr. Fauci and how despicable it is. Lisa, you do good work. How despicable, how unthinkable it is that somebody would dedicate like 40, 50 years of his career to helping people. Thank you for being here. And I mean, it's just like, if it were you, and after all that hard work, if it were you, and people were talking about you like that, and you were a public servant, Rand Paul needs to go. He has no business being in any position of leadership. Yeah, there's a lot of people in the chat. Thank you for coming. Fauci ouchie booster. COVID will be no more January 2024. Let's see, I was going to ask something. We love Dr. Fauci. We need to respect people that have worked hard to be public servants. I know, Maria, I was just going to say that I just decided to come on at 6 because I could. And plus it's getting darker earlier, and it feels later than it is. The great TED interview with Dr. Fauci? No, he doesn't. He doesn't get rattled, but it's how unfortunate. It does, as tough as we all think we are, when somebody is doing good and they get attacked, and he was attacked, death threats and everything, they get attacked for doing good, that needs to stop. Is that going to stop? Is attacking good people for being good and demonizing them, is that going to stop? Oh, really? That's interesting. Fauci looks like the doctor that helped in the 1918 flu. I think he did get a medal. He did get a medal from Obama, I think. Yeah, so that's going to change. And you know what? One thing that's going to change that too is all the people that are so selflessly helping in Florida. And I get that the people that were helping, some of them have lost their lives. We don't have any information coming in about that. But I do feel like there were people that lost their lives trying to save lives. Yes, I know, I'm not done yet. Annette, not Anita. And so what I was asking was, is it going to change the whole, like, attacking good people that are good public servants? Is that whole ridiculousness going to change? And I got yes. And it's definitely about, thank you, Ann. It's definitely, what's wrong? What bad finger? It's definitely going to shift. People are going to stop doing that. And it's definitely going to make, there were more than 47 people that died in Florida. Sad to say. But that situation is definitely going to put an end to people attacking people that do really the work for the highest good. Wrong letters. I'm like, bad finger, what? I think that was the name of a band. Yeah, so it's tough. Oh, Mitch has a great idea. See, you know, Mitch, there was a hurricane named after you, too. I was talking about that earlier. Yeah, we have to stop naming hurricanes after people. It's not good. I mean, if there was a Hurricane Annette that came up and destroyed a whole, state. I wouldn't like that. Any Ians out there? Okay, so we are going to pick 3 cards. Wow, it's been 2 solid hours. So 3 cards. Yeah, Sadhguru. Sadhguru is my friend. I met him in 1998. Love him. So hard to get close to him anymore. Physically, because everyone surrounds him. I told him he was going to be a celebrity. Did I ever tell you all that? When I met Sadhguru, he was like, "What's my future?" I said, "You're going to be so famous." Sure enough. Okay, this week, well, I have the 6 of Pentacles, which makes me think the January 6th committee will have a hearing. I love the idea of naming hurricanes after fossil fuel companies. Can we get that message out there? I think we should name them after Exxon, Mobil, BP, Chevron, all of them. Name them after the coal companies, but those aren't as well known. Chevron is these commercials that have all nature and everything, and Chevron's just doing what they can for the planet, and they don't do anything. A fish storm. Okay. So it looks like we will hear from the January 6th committee. It's feeling like they will have a hearing this week. We actually will see some good news. This Hurricane Amazon, Hurricane BP. Yeah, name them all after the huge corporations that could be paying to help us to do the cleanup. You look forward to whose meetings? I'm confused. Oh, the January 6th committee. Hearings. And I actually see some good news coming. I mean, don't hold your breath too much. But I see that we have some developments. It feels like legal things that are happening. Where's the food? I ate before I came on. I had a sandwich. Because I knew I needed to fuel up. Yeah, there was a band called Badfinger. But I see this is a female in a position of power. I think this is Nancy Pelosi. I think she's going to have something to say about some new developments. So let's do this. That was more about America. Let's pick a card. Let's pick 2 cards for the collective, just for like inspiration. Don't feel like you are going down with the ship. Don't feel like that this week. Don't do that. Know that, so this is for the collective. Know that if you feel trapped, the collective is going to feel more trapped. What's going on here in Florida with all the natural disasters and the hard stuff that's happening? I'm reading what Chuck wrote. All these things that are happening, it's like when, yeah, we're going to have some good news. Look for it. See if you can squeak it out of the news. When Putin invaded Ukraine, you know, why I see all this suffering going on. The guide said to me, Annette, we've all been through horrible, horrible things in our past lifetimes. Just, you know, like we've all been through horrible, horrible things in our past lifetimes. In this lifetime, if it's them and not us, we have to do everything that we can to help. So, the judgment, this is just, there's, you know, we're going to see karma. Just know that what goes around comes around, and everybody be nice and kind. And it's nice to be nice. My dad always says that. It's nice to be nice. And as long as you're putting out positive energies, keep putting out positive energies, then that will lift up the collective. Do the best that you can. And please join us tomorrow for our class. I will check my email after this. AnnetteDion7@gmail.com. I'll send you the whole list of classes that I'm giving the month of October, starting tomorrow. It was kind of last minute, but we have a stones and crystals class. It's an hour and a half. It's $50. So let me know. Good to see you all. Thanks for staying for 2 whole hours if you did. I like the ghost. All right. Sunday's Church of Spirituality live here. If you want spiritual upliftment, it's no obligation. Just show up. Namaste. Have a nice Friday night. Bye. Or Saturday if you're in Australia.